3D Mario speedrunning, in my opinion, is the best type of speedrunning. Better than Mario Kart speedruns, better than SpongeBob speedruns, and better than Minecraft speedruns. And the game that I run, Super Mario Odyssey, just so happens to have a ton of these console exploits. What I mean by this is anything outside of the game but a part of the console, or an external modification that barely affects gameplay at all. Quick bit of info before the video starts, I couldn't really find any SM64 or Bowser's Fury exploits. Bowser's Fury makes sense though, since it's only a month old and maybe more stuff will get discovered. With all that being said, let's get right into this video. For the first exploit of the video, we're going to be looking at one of these modifications I was talking about. This one really helps SMS runners out by skipping almost 6 minutes of incredibly boring cutscenes. When you use this mod, you'll be set apart from everyone else in the leaderboards with the term hacked file next to your name. This exploit, if you want to call it that, greatly helps out SMS runners and prevents a lot of cancerous resets by skipping all of the first cutscene and putting you right into the airstrip. Now this second one is more of a theory. Black-colored Nintendo Wiis are rumored to have a slightly faster load time when running SMS. Now, I don't think anyone actually knows why this is a thing. Maybe it's because they're either more original with less complex hardware, or more refined with newer hardware. Either way, really strange. Super Mario 64 DS does have one of the smallest 3D Mario speedrun communities, but that doesn't mean that the speedrun strats are boring. Take Bunny RNG for example. Usually in a casual playthrough, players have to constantly exit and re-enter the castle to get these bunnies to give you a star. However, in the 150 star speedrun, players have found a way to control this RNG by hard resetting the game. When this action is performed, the RNG is reset. You then need to go into the game's multiplayer versus mode and select a course. Once you do that, you soft reset the game, which properly aligns the game's RNG and makes the rabbits glow. This strat definitely cuts out a lot of time and random elements and makes this thing a lot less frustrating. Now Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 both have this one interesting trick known as memory overload. However, it's banned from all use in runs. How it works is, you have to fill your Wii's memory up so that there isn't even enough space to save the game, which ends up skipping all text boxes without saving, since there isn't even enough room to do so. This is most likely banned from use in runs because of the sheer amount of time it takes to set up, which I don't really understand, because if someone wants to grind a game that hard, then they should be able to. But then again, that would be an annoying record to have to beat, so I guess it makes sense. Super Mario 3D Land just so happened to release on the 3DS. It also just so happened to release on every other 3DS. What are you doing, Nintendo? Well anyways, the newer 3DS models happen to have faster loads than the OG one. But there's a catch. Newer consoles only load faster after World 4. Yeah. I don't think anyone really knows why this is, but it's a neat little exploit after all, so just go with it. Now for Super Mario 3D World, we have a returning entry. Just memory overload, except this time, it is allowed in runs. I think it's probably made easier on the Wii U, but I'm not entirely sure on the logistics of it. Oh boy, this is the part of the video that I've been waiting for. SMO just happens to have the most console exploits out of every game in the series. First up is Detached Joy-Con loads. Shortly after the game came out, people theorized that taking your Joy-Cons off the console can save up to 12 seconds in Kingdom to Kingdom loads. Now, no one really knows why this is a thing, but the main theory that people have produced is that it's one less thing that the game has to account for. This next one is something that I'm a bit skeptical about. Apparently, putting your Switch into airplane mode is similar to taking controllers off the dock, except in this case, I think it saves barely any time at all. It's insanely easy to do though, so it's worth it, and it might matter if you get into a close PB-paced run. Now let's have a talk about daylight savings time abuse. You may have noticed that at the start of runs, people will set their clocks back to a certain time before daylight saving time occurs. That's because when you enter the Sand Kingdom, you can plant a seed, and when the clock shifts from 1:59 to 3 AM, it will grow pretty much instantly, because the game has recognized a full hour going by, which is more than enough time for the seed to grow. There is a small drawback to this, however. Since you're constantly changing the time on your Switch, the clips that you take will be royally messed up, since they're ordered based on how long ago you took them. This is the sole reason that I don't go for the trick, since I keep track of my clips and I use them for YouTube videos. But if other people go for it, then they can save a crap ton of time. Now for the final trick of the video, we'll go over one of the only Odyssey speedrun strats to actually get banned from use. In the post-game of Mario Odyssey, loads are apparently slightly faster in handheld mode, which you can probably see why this is banned. You constantly have to disconnect your Switch from your recording, and it only saves a small amount of time, so yeah, makes sense to ban it. Hey there, thanks for watching to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, then why don't you leave a like or maybe even subscribe? I hope you enjoyed the video just as much as I did, since it was a lot of fun to make and took a decent amount of research. With all that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!